Founded on the principle of expanding the conversation around beauty and business, I was tired of listening to basic, shallow advice and raw, hustle hard motivation that I started this podcast for those seeking to create something much more meaningful with their lives without having to sacrifice what felt right for them. A bit of a rebel, I don't do business like most people, and it served me well. So if you're a bit of a rule breaker yourself, seeking for a place to go deep without judgment and bridge a bit of the woo with the work, then you're in the right place. After 25 years of being a serial entrepreneur, I now know that the level of financial success you have is in direct proportion to the level of your own personal growth. So without further ado, welcome to the Beauty Expanded podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to the Beauty Expanded podcast. This episode this month is going to be a little bit shorter. I am actually at home right now in between some big meetings this week. There are a lot of things brewing that will completely change my business. Big meetings, but I can't say anything just yet because usually when something is in the birth stage, in the sense of like it hasn't fully manifested, I believe is the time where you need to be a little bit more protective of it because it's so fragile, so new, that the energetics of it and frequency are just more vulnerable. If you speak out to it too soon, or maybe in the environment that it can't necessarily support or uphold it, I think can be a very bad decision because things can get wonky, people can be triggered, everyone has an opinion. And so that's why I'm not saying anything just yet. But I'm also at the same time very grateful for any and all the opportunities this week. The fact that I'm in my business right now and I am having these conversations and having these meetings with people, talking about huge numbers is really great. Like I'm very proud of myself because some of these numbers that we're throwing out are things that would have been so far above my head years ago that I would almost think it was impossible. So with that being said, I wanted to share something with you guys because as I'm waiting for this meeting to start, I was looking over a journal of mine that I haven't opened up in a while, but I keep them. And it was from an event, or actually a few events that I participated in last year in a business mentorship that I invested in. And last year was the most that I'd ever invested in coaching programs, mentorships, business programs, all the things. I had spent close to $75,000, if not $80,000 on programs last year, courses, trainings, all of that for my own personal growth. And in some ways, especially at the end of the year when I was giving all my information to my CPA and accountant, I was like, wow, like to think that there's a lot of people that won't even make that in a year. And here I am investing that sort of money in personal growth is mind-boggling to me. And in a lot of ways, I'm very grateful that I'm in a business that can support my own personal growth. And the reason why I believe mentorships and coaching programs are so important is because you are blind to your own blind spots. And I know as much as I love my family and I love that they are always so supportive of me, no one in my family owns a multi-million-dollar business. Nobody in my family is successful to like that extent. And so I am not going to learn how to scale my business in the way that I want by the advice that my family can give me, because they just can't give me any advice because they don't have that experience and the knowledge. And I'm not going to scale my business to that level by just living off of their emotional support. One of the biggest reasons I personally invest in mentorships and coaching programs is to learn from people who are already living and breathing the life that I want and have the business and the teams and the structure that I want, and who really, really are passionate about what they do and they're having a lot of fun, they're helping people and making impact, that's what I want. And so in order for me to learn how to do that for myself, I need to be in rooms where I can learn from them, because they think of things differently. They structure things differently. Like the mere fact that they have what most people want and will never have is because they have learned a lot and have done things that most people are not willing to do. And that is probably the biggest reason why I am where I am today. Because even though I've invested like upwards of $70,000 in mentorships in the past, I've also seen my business grow that much as well, which really confirms to me that my business's growth is a direct reflection of my own personal growth. Because the more that I can be aware of my blind spots, the more that I can think of things differently, which then leads to me acting differently and taking actions and making decisions differently, are obviously going to yield me the results that I truly want, that I may not have been able to achieve doing it on my own. And the other thing that I've noticed, being a serial entrepreneur for years and years and years, owning my own business for years and years and years, is when it comes down to it, mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. Because if you wake up and you're overwhelmed with a ton of fear and doubt and skepticism and depression and negative, toxic things just running in your mind, and then you maybe don't have such a supportive husband or a partner or a family, all they're seeing is the tired version of you, the disgruntled version of you, the person that is not doing well. And then you wonder why they're not supportive of you. Well, because they don't want to support you in doing something that looks toxic to you. And so if you have all of those things in place, it's going to be really hard for you to overcome your own mindset and take control of it in order to make better, clear, and effective decisions in your business. It's going to be really hard for you to market yourself and put yourself out there as someone who's really passionate and authoritative if you feel like you are absolutely failing. And that's why everything comes down to mindset, because if your mind thinks it, you feel it, and then you do it. And it doesn't even have to be true. But everything around you will look like and act like it's absolutely true. And that's only going to stunt your growth and block you from really having what you want and even meeting your potential. And so oftentimes when I'm in these rooms with multimillionaires and really successful entrepreneurs and other go-getters who really want to grow as well, you always walk away feeling more inspired. You walk away with some really great connections that are going to ultimately grow your business. But more importantly is you come back to what's true. And what I mean by that is no matter what your religious take is or your spiritual take is source, God, whatever you want to call it, universe, created you and put you on this earth for something. And that something is not supposed to be negative. Like a baby doesn't come into this world feeling like they're not supposed to be here or that it's somehow a mistake. And they don't come into this world feeling like a failure. And so oftentimes with these mentorships, I come back feeling much more grounded in my own life purpose. And I come back feeling much stronger and convicted in what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And then it's an interesting phenomenon because I'm human as everyone else is that like negative feedback and chatter that kind of like is in the back of your mind tends to get very quiet because I'm taking full ownership of my own power. And that's really stepping into like that personal power. And then you take that energy and that frequency and you start the Monday and you start the week off with me. And I am carrying myself at a different resonance. I am doing consults and talking to clients at a different frequency and level of authority that, again, is the catalyst for helping my business to grow. And so as I was reviewing this journal, I came across this page that I wanted to share with you guys. And let me bring it up. It was an exercise that they had us do. And I wanted to share with you guys what I actually wrote, because I think it will be helpful for you too. Okay. So, they had us do this exercise and they had us journal. And the question that we had to answer was, if I had 10 times the confidence more than I have now, what would I be doing? And this is what I wrote. So the first thing I wrote was, hire out everything that doesn't light me up. I also wrote, not even a glitch of comparison. A knowing that I'm on my own journey to success. I have created a business 100% on my own terms. I love this one. I wrote, competitors who? I'm in my own lane, own my truth, and I don't give a, as you know the bad word. And so I love being able to reflect on this moment in my life and just reflecting on this, because how powerful of a question. So if I had 10 times the confidence that I have right now, what the heck would I be doing? And these are things that just like came out of me, right? So it's a little bit of that intuitive like flow. First things first is I'm like, I will hire out everything that doesn't light me up, which is so important. And I'm in the process of doing that. I'm like the queen of outsource. It gets addicting. You get to a point where you're like, what other things can I outsource? And I love it because I have so much more freedom on my hands to do what I want. And then two, I get to just focus on the things that light me up. And do you not think that when you are in your zone of genius, that you are just going to keep winning, right? So it's like, the more that I'm able to be in my element where I shine and I have like genuine and sincere passion behind what I'm doing, do you not think that I'm going to be creating amazing things with that? And the truth goes to you as well. Like the same goes to you. And so that's why it's so important to hire out things to other people, so that way you can be in your zone of genius and you can be in your element and in your essence and your birthright and your life purpose. And if you get to do more of that, your business can't help but not grow. And then I love that. And it seems like there's like this undertone in what I wrote about the comparison trap. So I wouldn't even have a glitch of comparison, because if I'm 10x confident, I'm not even thinking about my competitors. I'm owning that this is my business, my version of success, that I'm on my own journey like everyone else is. I don't even think about my competitors. I don't even think of competition, because I'm working in a business and creating a business 100% on my own terms, which is going to be uniquely what I want and have nothing to do with anyone else. And I absolutely love that. And I even say, like, I'm in my own lane. And again, there's that ownership piece, like owning my truth. And when I own my truth and what's real and true to me, it has nothing to do with anyone else. And I think that's where that element of like not giving an F really comes into play. And I love this because when I read this now, a year later, I think, well, shit, what's stopping me from having that now? And so in this episode, I was curious, and I would encourage you to take time to answer this question for yourself, or write it on your mirror or on your phone. It's like right now, wherever you are in your business and wherever you stand, if you just had 10 times more of the confidence than you have now, what would you be doing differently? What would you be saying no to? What would you be saying yes to? And when you write all those things down and you just let it rip and you just let it flow, I think the next question is, what's stopping you from having that now? And I think that could be a powerful shift for so many of you, because what I do know is that you often can't give what you don't have. And being in a very image-based business, if you aren't feeling confident you yourself internally and even physically, like even externally, it's going to be a very, very hard time for you to be able to sell confidence to others. And essentially that is what we're doing, is we are selling some sort of service to help others feel confident about themselves. But how powerful and effective do you think you'll be, or you can be, if you yourself are avoiding putting yourself out there or talking about your business? If you are waking up every morning feeling blah and not excited and anxious and nervous and really insecure about your craft or about just simply promoting yourself, announcing to the world and taking ownership that this is what I'm here to do and this is what I am doing. If you are hesitant and feeling any sort of insecurity, self-consciousness, it is absolutely going to translate in the way that you generate leads and talk to consumers and clients and do your consultations, and the energy and the space that you hold, the tone of your voice. It's going to absolutely ripple into that. And so instead, I would much rather you have a little bit of faith, a little bit of come to Jesus moment, get grounded, and lead with the end in mind. Is this confident version of you, 10 times more confident, is showing you where you could be absolutely more confident today. So for example, you don't have to have it all figured out. Have I outsourced every little thing I don't like to do in my business? Not yet. But the key is not yet. It's already in motion. It's already in process. I would say I'm doing a lot more of today that I enjoy doing than I was last year. But I can stand behind that. I'm within integrity of that. And so then the concept becomes like this self-integrity. And I do believe self-integrity is a direct key to feeling confident as a person and as an entrepreneur and business owner. Is your words are powerful. And if you say you're going to do something and you never do it, hey, I'm going to show up at 5 o'clock, but you're always 5-10 minutes late. In fact, you have a reputation for always running late. Those things are so out of integrity that then when you create a lofty goal of what you want to achieve and have, when you say it, it's going to fall flat because you yourself innately know, you yourself know deep down inside that your words have no power because you have created habits in too many instances of being out of integrity outside of your word. And so if you really want to start building up confidence and being integral, first things first is do what you say. And so if I tell you in a simplest format that I'm going to be there at 5, I'm going to be there by 5, if not earlier. And the more instances and repetition you have of holding your word and standing behind your word is really where you're going to begin to build the confidence muscle of being like, man, when I set out a goal and say I'm going to make 100K this year, there's power behind that because when you say it, you mean it. And I think that's more important than anything else, especially if you have a home or an environment that might not understand you, may not be super supportive. And maybe to take full ownership, maybe there's a part of you that can be responsible with, oh, okay, I got it. I may not have always shown up believing in myself. I haven't always shown up as being integral and committed, but you can always take that back and you can always regain your power. So I would love to hear what you guys would be doing if you had 10 times more of the confidence, and love for you to share that. This episode is really a short one this month, just because I do have a lot of things going on, but it's been on my mind. I definitely want to pour it into you guys and give you guys just this little nugget with what does confidence really mean. And I think confidence has a lot to do with the power of your words, being self-integral, and the only way you can truly give that, like really be able to give that to a client and give that opportunity and create that space for them, is if you yourself has it. And so give yourself the space to be more confident, to be more integral. And I promise you, your business cannot not grow. Until next time, I'll catch you guys on another episode.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a friend. Even a simple repost on your stories or leaving us a review helps others as well on this entrepreneurial journey. And if you're someone looking into starting an exciting career in paramedical tattooing, your best bet is to check out our YouTube channel. where we share industry insights on what it's really like to tattoo and help people transform their lives for a living. For beauty entrepreneurs, whether you're new or experienced, I also offer one-on-one coaching calls where we dive deep into your business to help you grow and scale it on your terms. I truly believe every problem has a solution, and the very definition of being an entrepreneur is being a problem solver. But sometimes it takes another person's perspective to help you move past a block, especially when you're in the thick of it. I want to see you win, and if you'd like some one-on-one support from me, you can find details on our site to book a call. You don't need to do this alone. Okay, loves, thanks so much for your time and have an incredible